Hello. Hey guys, it's Kara, and I am back at it again with the white. Yeah, I can't not say that. It's an old meme. That's not cool at all. Hey guys, it is Kara, and 3 years ago, I made a video called How to Deal with a Bad Grade. I've started noticing that I've been getting in the past few weeks a lot more comments on it than normal, and I think the reason is because a lot of people are getting grades back for the semester around this time. There's all this stress happening. People aren't always getting the best news at this time of the year, and they're going and watching this kind of video. And so I thought I would make another video because it's been 3 years now. There's more to say, especially now that I've graduated college and I have this new perspective of what it's like once you stop getting grades in life. So basically this is like a part 2 to my how to deal with a bad grade and kind of what grades mean in the long run. I know for me personally, I was a student who was always very into grades. Grades were really important to me. I was a straight A student for a long time. I was always like a teacher's pet. I loved getting good grades. They were very validating for me. But I think what I did, and looking back I realize it more, is I put them on too high of a pedestal sometimes, where it was too wrapped up in my identity and the way that I saw myself. It wasn't just that me, Kara, was getting good grades. It was me, I'm Kara, I am the good grade getter. I am an A student, and if I ever get something below that, if I ever do bad, if I ever fail in any way, it's not just that it's a bad grade, it's now wrapped up into who I am, and it's like a pain on my identity. And that's, I think, when it gets really bad and really dangerous. And I think that's what it's really easy to get to when you're in the midst of school and you're getting these grades back. It can feel very, very personal, and it can feel like not just that you did poorly on this examination, but it's a poor reflection of who you are as a person. And that's the thinking that I really want to try to get people away from. I'm thinking that a lot of people are probably coming to this video because they just recently got a bad grade. And so if you're one of those people, if you have just recently gotten a grade back and it's not exactly what you thought you should get, or not what you wanted, or just you're feeling bad about it, I just want you to know it's gonna be okay. Take a moment, breathe, you are okay. You are alive, you're breathing, life is going to go on. This is just one bad grade. It's not the end of the world. I promise. I promise. It's okay. It really, 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 really is okay. So you're gonna be fine. I promise you. So one reason I think bad grades feel so anxiety inducing is because it feels like it's a reflection on what our success in life is going to be like. If we get a failed grade, it feels like we're going to be a failure in life. Like all of our future endeavors are going to fail because we failed this math exam. And that's just not true. A grade is a single moment in time, and there's a lot of different variables as to why you might not have done well. Maybe you didn't study enough, or maybe you did study and just didn't understand the material. Maybe you were tired that day. Maybe there are other stressors going on in your life that were distracting you. Maybe that subject just isn't for you. People have their different strengths and weaknesses, and that's okay. There's a lot of different things that can go into why that grade wasn't great. And recognizing that it's this single moment and it's not a reflection of who you are as a person. It's not this big picture representation of you and your life. Realizing that, I think, is really helpful. When you let the bad grade fester in your mind and tell you that you're going to be this terrible person in life and you're going to be a failure and you're never going to get any of your dreams accomplished and all this, when you let your brain think that, you're giving so much more power to the bad grade than it deserves. It does not deserve that much power. It's a grade. It's a single grade. Maybe it's a series of grades. Maybe you had a whole terrible semester. Even then, it's an isolated moment in time, and you're gonna get over it. And there's so many more chapters of your life, and it's okay to feel bad about it, but don't give it too much power. Don't let it become something more than it actually is. And if you want evidence of people who have done great things even though they didn't do so well in school, look to people like Bill Gates. He has this a really amazing quote I have to read because I can't remember it, so let me get my phone real quick. Quote, "I studied everything but never topped. But today the toppers of the best universities are my employees." Look online and you can find plenty of other people who didn't do that well in school, but who went on to do really incredible things. So the lesson being, just because you do bad in school, just because you have a few bad grades, or you don't do well at all in school, doesn't mean that you're set up now for a life of failure and that you can't do good things and you can't follow your dreams. I'm not saying screw school. leave it behind, because I think education is really important, and it's an opportunity a lot of people in the world and in history have wanted and don't get to have. And so the ability to participate in an education is really important. So I'm not saying just quit school and like go off and do whatever. I think that's really a case-by-case basis. But what I am saying is that school is not everything. And this ties into my main point of this video, which is that grades are important. There's no denying, for me at least, that grades are important. But, and here's the big but, they're not the only important thing. So what other important things are there? Well, there's your mental health, there's your physical health, making sure you eat right and you sleep right. There's your family and your friends, the community that you have around. There's the kindness that you show to this world, the way that you act with people, the gentleness and the empathy that you express to people. That's important. There are your passions and your hobbies, the things that make you want to get up in the morning and that make you excited about the world. There are so many different things that are important in your life. And grades are one of them, but they're not the only one. And you shouldn't feel guilty for feeling upset when you get a bad grade. Because that's not what I'm trying to say. When you get a bad grade, you're probably going to feel kind of crappy. And that's just because it means something to you. But I think what the important thing is, let yourself soak in that moment of being upset for a second and acknowledge it and be like, yes, I got a bad grade. It really sucks. Not very happy about it. And then take that thought and just toss it aside. Let it go. Realize there's nothing you can do about the past right now. What you can do and what you can change is the future, and part of the future being how you react to it. From my perspective, again, as someone who has graduated, who is now done with her relationship with school, I remember being, I think, a junior in high school, and I had never gotten anything below an A before in my life. But I got my first bad grade. I got a B in my chemistry class, and looking back, it's so ridiculous that I got so upset because it's a B. Like, that's still a good grade. And yet I remember sitting over here, right over in this corner of my room, and balled up in like the fetal position, just crying. Like, I was so upset when I got that grade back. I just remember thinking, like, this is not who I am. Like, am I a failure? Is that who I am now? Like, am I not smart? Am I not all these things I thought I was? It was this really bizarre experience. It was just so extreme looking back at it for me when I graduated. Then grades were over. That chapter of my life was over. All the bad grades that I ever got and all the good grades that I ever got doesn't matter. It's so irrelevant now in my life. No one cares. No one asks me about it. I barely think about it. But the things that do matter to me still are my family and my friends, are my hobbies and my passions, are my mental health and my physical health. There's so many other things that matter to me still, and grades have stopped mattering to me. So for those who are in the midst of the terror of having a bad grade and are feeling down about it, just remember that life goes on. There is a much bigger picture in all of this, and that big picture doesn't involve your grades. It can feel like the end of the world, but it's not the end of the world because you're so much more than a grade. Let yourself soak in the misery for a short period of time because you can't push it down. I think pushing it down is just going to make it bottle up. But let yourself soak in that misery and then let it go. And then move on and recognize that there's other important things in your life. I'm also going to put a few links in the down bar below that I think are really interesting reads about people who've been successful despite being mediocre in school, different articles about what success means exactly, things about grades not always correlating to success, all these different things that I think are interesting and hopefully helpful. I'll put that down there for you guys to read and check out. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the topic. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it helped you in any way. If you did click on this video because you got a crappy grade, I'm sorry, but I really do hope that this message helped you in some way. I'll be making more videos in the next few weeks, so make sure you subscribe to get updated on those. I don't even know if I pointed to the right thing. Wherever the subscribe button is, click it. That way you can be notified when I make new videos, and you can see all the things that I'll be talking about, which I would also like your guys' help with. If there are any particular topics you'd like me to discuss in upcoming videos, please let me know in the comments below. My social media links are in the down bar below. I don't use Twitter much anymore. I use Instagram every once in a while, so go and check that out. That's it for today. Hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And yeah, bye. I have to make sure that I don't have any green stuff around my mouth because of the seaweed I'm eating.